Guys, if you can believe it, it is 103 degrees out right now. That's no word of a lie, and so we're not gonna spend too much time in the sun. The camera does not like it, but we've got a pretty cool machine here. Come on, let's take a look. So this is a 1994 XR100R. There is the identification tag right there, XR100R 1994. Pretty awesome, it's got that on there. And it's actually in pretty good shape. You know, it's not perfect. It is definitely used. You can see some wear. Like if you come to the engine cover, if you wanted to bring this back to really good condition, you'd have to take that off and recoat it. But the rest of it, I mean, honestly, you know me with my boot rub, dude, I always go there. There's a small amount there. A lot of times though, these kids' machines, you know, even if they have a lot of hours on them, they're not really like ridden hard. But sometimes they are. Sometimes they're absolutely beat to crap. You never know. We got some cool stickerage on here. Evil, mean, and nasty. Back here we've got some kind of Cobra, naughty by nature, fight crime, shoot first. Also got an old school Fox sticker, Confederate flag, gotta have that on there. And then up here, we've got the pinup girl. You gotta have it, man. Ride red, Honda, old school sticker, and of course, a Camel Supercross sticker. Now this is actually a very cool machine, and interestingly enough, this was in the background of the video where I was bringing the Warrior back to life, and it wasn't even featured. I didn't even mention the XR, and I got several DMs of people asking about this XR100, specifically asking if I wanted to sell it. So I'm not an XR100 aficionado, but I think there's actually a following for these things. So if that is true, you guys gotta let me know in the comment section below. Unfortunately though, it will not be for sale. This doesn't even belong to me. This belongs to a friend of mine, and they've had it since brand spanking new. They bought it, I guess, in like 1993 or 1994. I think their dad did, and it's been in the family ever since, and now they want to give it to one of their, I think one of their nephews or little cousins or something, and let them ride it. So they told me that it hasn't been running. They said they don't know, but at least 5 years. So yes, they said no idea, but do you really have no idea? If you can say that it's been at least 5 years, you kind of have some idea. So let's see if we can get this thing fired up. The first thing that I want to do is get it washed up. The camera actually died in recording that. It just got too hot and it automatically shuts down, which just, what the heck? So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this thing, and I'll probably use the same methods if you guys saw the Warrior video, but we won't be going through all those little tiny steps. And hopefully it cleans up pretty nice. You know, I think one of the coolest things about this bike is that it was featured in Terminator 2. When John Connor's working on that little dirt bike and in the little chase scene, that's a 1990 XR100R. Same exact model, just different year, but it actually looks really similar. I think even the seat graphic is the same as that one in 1990. The thing that bugs me really badly about that movie though, and I noticed this way back in the day when I watched it for the first time, is that they have a 2-stroke clip over top of the audio.
Come on, get your ass inside. Do what your mother tells you.
It's not my mother, Todd.
And you know that shit ain't legit, man. This is a 4-stroke, and that's always bothered me. That's like a Hollywood thing that I see a lot, where they do audio dubs over motorcycles and cars and stuff, and you know it's not the correct sound. Just what the heck. Anyways, this bike actually cleaned up a little bit nicer than I thought it would. I knew it wasn't in bad shape, but it really looks very good. Look at the exhaust. That's kind of rare. Usually the exhaust at least has some rust and stuff on it. The rims look really nice. I did notice some problems already. We're gonna fix all of it. I don't think it's gonna need too much. This side of the engine really cleaned up. Like I was saying before, if we fixed like this stuff, it would really look nice, but the frame is really, really clean. All up in here, the swing arm and stuff, cleaned up really nice. This is in very nice condition. So I want to put air in the tires. My buddy Rich just basically said that he wants this thing safe to ride. I think it's going to kind of be like a yard machine. I don't think it's going to be any kind of crazy off-roading. And he asked about the tires, and I think they're actually okay. I'm looking, there's like a tiny bit of dry rot, but they're still soft. And the condition of the seat tells me also that wherever this thing was stored, I think it was in the garage most of the time, that it's actually gonna be okay. So let's get some air in them. Unfortunately, I went to do that, and if you look in here at the valve stem, it looks like it's, something's not right. So we definitely need to, at the very least, replace the valve stem, and we'll get some air in these tires, make sure that the tubes hold air and everything, and we'll take the tire assessment from there. Use our little Tusk valve stem tool here. Ooh, got a loose spoke. I'm gonna have to go around and check all the spokes and everything. Other ones are feeling okay, but this one, it's definitely got to be tightened up. Well, there's air in there. That's surprising. Oh man, that air stinks. That is some old air. You can see the Schrader valve is bent, so we'll just go ahead and replace that. Let's see if we can even get it to take air. I'm gonna thread a nut down here just to temporarily hold this Schrader valve. It keeps pushing in every time I try to fill it with air, and it's also on an angle, which isn't helping. All right, that should be more than enough. This blue point is the bomb. We'll pump this up to 15 foot-pounds. Then this thing was missing a valve stem. We'll throw it on there. And I'm gonna back this nut off just a little bit. You're actually supposed to leave these loose so that if the tube twists inside the tire, it doesn't rip. So you don't want this to be tight, but you can leave it on there. Then I'm gonna go around and check all the spokes. They actually feel really good. There was just that one that was really loose. I don't feel any other loose ones, but that's not uncommon that spokes become loose. And the back one, these ones feel good and tight. And then for loose ones like this, we're gonna come in with the little Tusk spoke wrench. This thing is pretty awesome. It's got 2 sizes readily available, and they spin out. The kit comes with a bunch of different sizes, depending on what kind of spokes you have. And then we'll just come on down here and tighten it up. I'm just gonna snug these. If there were a whole bunch that were loose, I'd go around and do them little by little because you don't want the wheel to get out of true. Oh, whoops, I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Just kind of going around and checking each and every one of these and giving them a little bit of a twist, if anything, just to make sure that they're all about equally tight. And surprisingly, they all feel really good. There was just that one. I'll give it a spin here, make sure it looks true. Oh, dude, beautiful. Tires are good. Clutch is not tight, but we'll put a little bit of lube in there. Brake feels good. And the throttle actually works, which is a really good sign. I wanted to do this stuff first because this way we'll be able to see if the tires have a slow leak while we're doing the rest of the stuff. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on this cable, and that'll kind of settle in the cable while we're doing everything else too. And it should be nice and smooth by the time we're ready to start it up. I like to turn the bars to the side so that it's kind of aiming upward so we can use gravity. And then we'll take the little adjuster here and angle it so that the channel is facing upward. And then the little straw on my oil fits right in there. You can just put a little bit of oil in there, work the cable, and you just do this a couple times and oil will run down that clutch line and it usually frees it up. All right, let's see what this dang spark plug looks like and what it looks like in the cylinder. Oh, is this a different size? I got a new spark plug. Yeah, it is. What the crap? I got a new OEM spark plug and I measured it off of that one. I wonder if this is not the correct plug. I see it's an NGK, but who the hell knows? You know, it's possible that since 1994, this spark plug has been changed. It's definitely a different plug than the one that I bought. CR7HS. I'm pretty sure this is the right one. Maybe I got the wrong one in the mail. It looks just fine though. We could reuse it if we have to. Well, they definitely sent me the wrong plug. Look at this size difference, man. This one doesn't even have, this won't even fit in there basically. The threads are bigger and everything, so just, you know, what the hell. Yeah, that's just what happens when you don't order from Partzilla. I actually didn't order that stuff from Partzilla. It was like a a refresh kit for an XR100 and from eBay, but you know what? People make mistakes. No big deal. So let's use our bore scope here and just take a look inside. This thing hasn't been turned over or anything, from what I understand, probably in quite some time. So we'll see what it looks like in there. And I'm gonna throw a shot of oil in there, you know, just because it hasn't been turned over in such a long time. And we'll take the good old bore scope. Oh, it's freaking upside down. There we go. And let's see what it looks like. Is it? Oh, dude, beautiful. It looks almost like the Warrior that we just looked at. Rich, I don't think you're using this dirt bike too much. Top of the piston looks okay. Go in and can it turn around? See if we can get a look at our valves. Yep, there we go. You can see there's the valves. I think everything's okay in this cylinder. Not too worried about it. Good little bore scope though. I really love this thing. That'll be linked in the description below. It's actually pretty inexpensive too. I'll just turn this thing over. It feels pretty smooth. All right, let's see if we're getting spark. All right, here we go, fire in the hole. Hopefully we can do this without shaking the bike too much. Oh, I already see. We got spark. And I'm barely kicking it, so we should be good. I would actually bet that the carburetor's in good condition too, but I still want to pop it off. I got a rebuild kit for it. Because even if it starts, it doesn't mean that the jets are completely clean and stuff. And gas, when sitting in carburetors and stuff, it just tends to gum up. And we're talking years here. So we'll take that off, and I'm also going to drain the fuel tank, and we'll make sure the petcock is good too. Man, working with these minis is just so easy. They're so simple, and there's like nothing to them. Have I spoken too soon? The carburetor's like hitting the frame. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there we go. We got it. Well, there is a little bit of gunk on the slide. But look at the condition of the slide. Like, I don't even see, this looks brand new. Like, usually you see, like, it's almost like an old piston, you know, slide marks and stuff. Oops. Even if it's in good condition, you still see stuff like that. Oh, man, I just turned the gas to the off position, and it, like, snapped. It had been stuck like that for so long. And I can feel that this line is dry rotted, so that will definitely be replacing. Jeez, I might have to cut this off or rip it. That works too. And there's our carburetor. You know, I didn't even check to see if there's gas in this. It looks like it's bone dry. That's a good thing. All right, here's our carb. You can see, man, this thing is crispy. Let's go ahead and, looks like these have never been removed. I'd guess we're the first ones cracking into this thing. Got my JIS screwdriver. There were people in the last video like, dude, you need to get JIS screwdrivers, you idiot. JIS is a Japanese industrial standard. And I actually did learn it through you guys years ago. And they're specialized screwdrivers. They look just like a Phillips, but they're not. They're like slightly different. Probably couldn't even tell with your eye. But they have like a little bit of a sharper edge, and they really bite into these screws. And you can tell a screw is Japanese industrial standard by looking at it. See the little dot right there? That is the mark for JIS. So the next time you're using a Phillips head screwdriver, or any screwdriver for that matter, you can flex that fact to your friends, and they'll probably think you're really cool, or just an idiot. Probably an idiot. Ugh. Ugh. It's actually, oh no. Oh, it's like we got like a gel in there. Ugh. Is that two-stroke oil? Look at that. So we do have to clean this thing up. Overall, not bad. I'm glad that the tank was empty, so probably there wasn't too much fuel sitting in it, but whatever was in the bowl It emulsified. I don't know what the word is. It turned into a gel. So this will be going probably into the ultrasonic cleaner. Yep. This is why I was saying that we definitely wanted to take the carburetor off and look. Like, look at the main jet. Like, can we even see light through this thing? I don't know if you guys can really tell. I think it's completely clogged, actually. That goop is probably inside here. So it actually may not have run. All right, there's our carb parts. Got our bowl. And in they go. A lot of these parts are going to be replaced anyways because I have a carb kit, but we'll clean them up anyways just in case the new ones don't fit or something. And we can drop our carburetor in here too. Man, that's hot. And then just a crap load of palm olive. That's probably more than enough. You guys already know. We're setting this bad boy to 69 minutes. Nice. You know, I never understood why people say nice after 69. Like, why that number? I don't even, like, what is even the meaning behind that? Anyways, the carb part's cleaned up really nice. Here's the body. There's something about that ultrasonic cleaner, man. It just does a freaking number on zinc coating. Like, if it's good zinc coating to start with and it's just dirty and got stuff on it, look at that. Looks like brand spanking new. Bowl eradicated our sludge gelatin problem. And then the rest of this stuff all looks good too. We're actually not going to use these jets because this go around, we've got a nice Shindy carburetor rebuild kit made in Japan. That's the key right there, is made in Japan. So it's got the jets and everything in there and a whole bunch of the gaskets and whatnot. So I will rebuild it with that stuff. I also pulled the fuel pack cock out. I do have a rebuild kit for this also right here, but I don't think it's necessary, man. This thing, it looks and feels, it's actually a little tight right now, but there we go. It feels really good, and it looks brand spanking new. I wish I had actually shown. It had that sludge stuff in the screen at the bottom. The ultrasonic cleaner just kind of eradicated it. So this I'm just going to throw back on there specifically because it has rivets. If it had the screws, I'd probably just do it. But to actually put this kit in, if you look in here, there's actually a drill bit. You have to drill the rivets out. And because it's so nice, you know, we'll just put it back. Well, we've got a float problem. She's taking a leak. So there's a couple things this could be. It could just be that the float is stuck. I tried tapping on it with a screwdriver. Sometimes that'll get it unstuck, and it is possible that's still what's going on. But I kind of don't remember when we put the parts in the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't remember seeing the float. Usually, you know, you put those carb parts in, and at the top, the float will sit there. So maybe the carburetor was on top of the float holding it down, but it's possible that the float has a leak, which if the float doesn't have buoyancy, it won't go up when gas enters the carburetor. And then when the float goes up, it closes there's a little needle valve in there, and when that goes up, it seals and stops the gas from coming in. So it's possible that that's going on too. Not a big deal, we just gotta pull it off and I'll take a look. I'm gonna try one last thing before, oh, God damn it. The old slam and slosh method. Sometimes this is all you need to do, and it gets that bowl unstuck, and then we'll give it the slosh. It's very technical stuff. All right, let's see. You can see I don't have very much confidence. I'm putting the pan under there. Did it work? Nope. I kind of have a feeling that the bowl is stuck. I have a feeling it doesn't float. The float doesn't float, not the bowl. All right, here is our float. I actually don't think it's leaking because there's nothing in it. So I would think it would be filled with gas. And yeah, it definitely floats. You can see it bobbing up and down. This is magnetic, so it's pulling the bottom metal portion, and you can see it floats. So it wasn't that. So maybe I'll put this back together, make sure everything's right. Sometimes carburetors just do that. So we'll see if we can get this right. All right, the bowl's back in there. Let's turn our gas on. We've got a clear tube down here so we can see if it's gonna leak. I saw the gas flow through. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. It's coming out. Damn. Yeah, maybe we got to adjust our float. All right, we are getting into annoying territory here. I raised the float just a little bit so that we'd get a little bit more pressure on our needle valve. Didn't work. So I've been down this road before where you have like these mysterious leaky carbs, and sometimes they can really make you pull your hair out. I'm hoping that this isn't too bad, but one of the things I've done before, in this particular rebuild kit, we didn't get a needle valve seat. So we're still using the original seat, and it's possible that that is gunked up, or there could be like a piece of grit or something on it. Now, I know most of you guys know this, but some people don't, so I'm going to explain it. This is the needle valve here. It's got a little rubber tip on it, and this attaches to the float, and as the float comes up, the needle valve comes up. And the needle valve will go right into this little needle valve. It's called the needle valve seat. This little hole right here. The needle valve goes in here, and when it goes up, that rubber pointed tip seals off the gas. That's where the gas comes in. So if the float goes up, that rubber tip should close it off and no more gas should flow in. But gas is still flowing in. So it is possible. That's where I think that the grit of sand or whatever is. And this is a piece that in a lot of carbs is replaceable. I tried pulling it out, and I don't want to like ruin it. You can actually already see there's a little mark on the outside. I don't want to destroy it. And because it wasn't in the kit, it might not be a part that's regularly removed. So I think we can fix it on here. It's going to be a little hack, but I've done this before, and it usually works. It took me many years to come up with this technique. It is the Q-tip in a drill. We're going to take some valve grinding compound and put a little bit on our Q-tip, and it should clean up our little port in there. Don't need too much of this stuff. And ideally, I really should remove the carburetor because we have to clean it too. It's crazy because it really doesn't take much to make a carburetor leak. So I'm gonna put a new Q-tip in here, and I'm gonna do this another 3 times because I really don't want to do this again. All right, it's looking pretty shiny in there. I'm gonna take a little bit of parts cleaner and jet it in there just to clean out. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. And then I'm going to turn on the gas and just run a little bit of gas. So if there's any of that stuff in there, that should push it out. There's no doubt that it cleaned up in there. It was not that shiny before. I probably should have done this from the get-go. Hopefully this works. All right, here we go. Slightly nervous. Let's turn our gas on. We're flowing. Oh man, it's looking hopeful. I think it would have leaked by now. Let me make sure we're not out of gas. I'll check reserve. Oh, dude. What a relief. Oh, shit. Man. You gotta be shitting me, man. How is this thing still leaking? Man, that thing is just flowing. Yeah! It doesn't leak. You guys are not going to believe this. The carb was fixed. We actually already had it fixed, and this is just embarrassing. Basically, I spent probably like 3.5 hours yesterday taking this damn thing on and off so many times, and the very last thing we did, cleaning it up with the drill and the compound, every single time that I took this thing off, I was draining the bowl with the little drain screw down here, just so that so when I take the bowl off, you don't get gas all over the place. And the very last time that we did it with the valve grinding compound, I forgot to tighten that stupid drain bolt back up. So I'm thinking, I just got so used to this freaking thing leaking, I didn't even think anything of it. and I was just like, you know what the hell? And at that point, I was done for the day, man. It was like 7 o'clock, and I was getting super frustrated. So I was like, you know what? Let's put this away for the day. And little did I know that it was actually fixed. I came out here today to give it another shot, and I saw that the drain bolt needed to be tightened up, turned the gas on, and it doesn't leak, dude. It's on reserve right now. Or is that on? Okay, no, it's on reserve. Yep. So it's on reserve. It's been like that for like 10 minutes. And I don't see a drop, which is awesome. Definitely gonna be coming back to that like multiple times, crossing my fingers like, oh, is it really fixed? I hope so. But anyways, we're good there. There's a couple more things we gotta do, man. I really wanna fire this thing up and see if it runs. I'm sure it runs. You know, the reason I showed that whole freaking excursion of the carb leak is to show that, you know, even on a chip shot project like this, you know, that most do-it-yourselfers are going to be able to get this thing running. As I say that, we haven't even gotten it running. Maybe well, anyways, you just have problems like that. It's a part of power sports repair, and it's real life. Let's see what we got going on for the air filter. Would not be surprised if it's the original. Looks like it might be a little deteriorated, but not bad. The foam, it looks like that would probably, oh my gosh. It's like ice cream. Look at that. This thing is shot. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of funny. You know, as much as we like reselling things, dude, look at this. I'm scooping this air filter off with a putty knife. As much as we like reselling used parts here at Quality Used Parts, this air filter might not qualify. It would have to be shipped in a box and in powder form, ice cream form. Maybe we can resell this. Got a brand new filter element in a crinkle bag. Fresh OEM Honda. And on top, that's a little crush washer for the drain bolt for the Earl. Now it does have some oil from the factory. I'm gonna put just a little bit more on using the Tusk foam filter, kind of a universal spray foam or spray oil for foam filters. And normally I would put gloves on, but I already got oil on my hands, so I'm gonna have to wash them anyways. And then I just like to mush it around, make sure it's covering all the surfaces. It's not like when you do it with motor oil where you gotta like squeeze it out because there's so much oil in it. But I definitely feel better about putting just a little bit more on there. Slide this bad boy on over. Before I drop the filter in, I just want to wipe this box out. There's some oil and some of that ice cream filter powder is stuck in there. It's like space ice cream. Look how clean that is in there, man. I actually don't think they ever like off-roaded this thing. I really do think this was like a ride it around the yard thing with the kids type deal, which really explains the condition. And I know you guys are probably getting frustrated because I'm getting frustrated too, but I'm a big fan of delayed gratification, and this damn camera's in the way. Hey, Christ, man, now I'm starting to get pissed. I'm being honest. What'd I say about that gratification thing, man? It's Friday and it's pizza day, so that's the gratification if we start this thing. See how easy things are when you guys aren't in the freaking way. I love you guys. Now that is resellable on eBay. We've got a brand new pre-owned Fire power chain here. OEM spec, but more. Look at that beautiful chain. And I swear this is the last thing. It's really bothering me how low this shifter is, so I'm just gonna move that up a touch. Just a touch. And finally, without further ado, we can go ahead and see if this thing fires up. I did make sure there's oil in it. It does have oil in it. I don't want to change the oil until after we warm it up and get the fluids, you know, moving around and everything. I was talking to Rich, the owner of this, and they figured out, I guess through like pictures and whatnot, but you know, we said that this hasn't run in at least 5 years. The last time this ran was 2008. So this has not run in 17 years. Let's see if we can get her going. This will be the first time going in almost 2 decades, which is kind of crazy. I think it's just gonna fire right up because we had all those carburetor problems and it kind of owes it to us. We'll try no choke. Let's prime the engine, get the oil moving around and stuff. Just roll it over a few times slow. Compression feels great. All right, now let's actually kick it. Whoa, dude! First kick. And we even got the idle. I didn't even adjust the idle screw because I replaced it when we did the carb stuff. I guess I got it. That sounds pretty damn good, dude. Wow. I'm sure it has to warm up a little bit. I figured it would start, but man, first kick after 17 years. It's pretty impressive if you ask me. Amazing. Sounds like a brand new bike. Well, I'm gonna let this run for a minute here. Maybe a couple minutes, actually. And take it up and down the driveway, run it through the gears. There we go. I think we might have to turn the idle up just a touch. So just to be safe, I dropped the oil, and as to be expected, like the rest of the condition of this bike, it looked pretty damn good. It was a little bit dark, but still not in bad condition. And I filled it up with some fresh OEM Honda 10 W40. So this bike is completely done. As long as the transmission works, you know, it's possible that that could be exploded, but I'd be very, very surprised. I'm pretty stoked about this. This thing hasn't run in 17 years. It's just a cool machine, man. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. So hopefully Rich will be happy with it, or his nephew, whoever is going to be riding it. Sounds pretty good, man. I have a DRZ 125, and it takes like a while to warm up. It'll kind of like choke and like blurb down low, and then once it warms, it's got to want to warm up for like 5 freaking minutes, and then it runs fine. I wonder if this is kind of similar. They're both very simple engines. It rolls very smoothly now since we got the air in the tires and that fresh chain on there. All right, here we go. Here we go. I think it's a 5-speed. I'm gonna take it easy because, oh my gosh, first gear probably goes like 5 miles an hour. But I want to take it easy. You know, the clutch plates, I'm surprised they weren't sticking actually, for having sat for so long. Feels pretty smooth. We're in second, third, fourth, fifth. Good to go, man. We might as well be riding a brand new pre-owned XR100R 1994. Feels really good, nice and smooth. The shifter is really nice. It's like nice and notchy in the good way, like very positive. It's gutless, but what do you expect from an XR100 with a 215-pound guy on it? Nice, smooth machine, man. Rich should be really happy with this. Everything is nice and tight. I really think this I think this had like very, very low hours on it. Everything is nice and smooth. Make a U-turn here. That's about all she's got. The brakes work. Got to make sure this thing is kid safe. Yeah, the back brake works. And the front brake works. I would bet that they're like brand new in there. Man, this is a fun little machine. This could be like a pit bike. Now I know why so many people in the comments were like, dude, how much do you want for that thing? I can't tell you. I would say at least 10 or 15 people that I actually opened up and looked at. You know, I get a lot of DMs, and unfortunately, I can't respond to all of them, man. There's just too many. But at least 15 of them that I saw of people asking, they said they wanted to buy this thing. These I can see why these things are so kind of sought after. Like, this is an awesome machine, and as a kid, oh my gosh, I would be in love with this thing. So thank you guys again for following along. Not like a huge project or big like, oh my god, can we make it run? But just a cool machine. I'm happy to share it with you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you can, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the video. The comments help out the video with the algorithm tremendously. That tells YouTube that it's good content and people enjoy it, and it just really helps me out. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.